Hello everyone, it's me. Welcome to my storytelling channel. If you have any comments, please comment below to help me improve. I would like to thank you very much. Are you looking to hear a dramatic horror story? Without further ado, let's start the story right away. The first story, The Letter from the Basement. Winter 1892. The small town of Blackwood, nestled deep in the Bavarian forest, was colder than ever before. Snow blanketed the wooden rooftops, turning the main road into a narrow, shadowy path. But the chill of nature was nothing compared to the fear creeping into the hearts of the townsfolk. Hugo Reinhardt, a young historian from Vienna, arrived in Blackwood to research local folklore. He rented an old wooden house on the edge of the forest. The landlord, an elderly man named Gregor, gave him a warning. "Do not go into the basement, Herr Reinhardt. This house has its own history." But Hugo, driven by a scholar's curiosity, couldn't ignore such a vague warning. On his first night, the wind howled through the cracks in the walls like whispered voices. Hugo sat at his desk, translating ancient texts about a mysterious 16th century religious ritual. Then, from beneath the floorboards, a strange knocking echoed. Tup, tup, tup. The rhythm was steady, deliberate, like someone rapping on a pipe. Hugo grabbed a candle and descended the creaking wooden stairs into the cellar. The air was damp and icy. The flickering candlelight revealed crumbling stone walls draped in cobwebs. And then he saw it, a small wooden box resting on a rotting table. Its lid was carved with a strange symbol, an eye with a vertical pupil like that of a goat. Hugo opened the box. Inside lay a letter written in a dark red ink that resembled blood. "To whoever reads these words, know that you have awakened it. It has slept for centuries in the dark, waiting for a curious soul like yours. Now it will come for you night after night, until you become part of it." Hugo chuckled, dismissing it as a prank. But as he turned, the candle in his hand snuffed out. In the darkness, a long, shuddering sigh brushed against his ear. In the following days, Hugo began dreaming of a grotesque creature. In his nightmares, he stood in a pitch-black forest devoid of sound. From the shadows emerged a towering figure. Its limbs stretched unnaturally, its head tilted at a broken angle. Its face was featureless, save for a wide, jagged smile that split its pale flesh from ear to ear. Each night the thing drew closer. Hugo awoke drenched in cold sweat. Determined to uncover the truth, he visited the local tavern, where a man named Jürgen told him a story that froze his blood. Over 200 years ago, a priest named Father Heinrich lived in that house. He was obsessed with a creature he called Der Schattenfresser, the Shadow Eater. Heinrich believed it came from another world, a place without light, filled only with the screams of devoured souls. One night, the townsfolk heard his screams. When they broke in, Heinrich was gone. Only a trail of blood leading to the basement remained. A shiver ran down Hugo's spine. He realized the letter in the box might have been Heinrich's final warning. That night, Hugo sealed the basement shut. He nailed planks over the door and drew a cross in chalk. But as the clock struck midnight, the knocking returned, louder, more frantic. Bang, bang, bang. Trembling, Hugo clutched the silver cross he'd bought from the church. Suddenly, the house shook. Long, blackened fingers slithered through the gaps beneath the door. "You cannot run." A voice hissed inside Hugo's mind, an ancient language he'd never heard yet understood perfectly. The door burst open. From the darkness emerged a gaunt figure, standing over 7 feet tall. Its mouth stretched open, revealing rows of needle-like teeth. Hugo screamed, but no one heard him. The next morning, the townsfolk found the house empty. On Hugo's desk lay a new letter, its handwriting twisted, as if someone were learning to mimic human script. "I have gained another servant. And still I hunger." Since then, on the coldest winter nights, a long shadow has been seen shuffling through Blackwood's empty streets. Sometimes it pauses at someone's door and knocks 3 times. If you ever hear those knocks, remember, never open the door. Second story, The House on Blackwood Hill. Prologue. In October 1987, 4 British university students Daniel, Eleanor, Marcus, and Claire ventured into Blackwood Forest, Herefordshire, to document the infamous Holloway House. Locals whispered that the Holloways, a wealthy 19th century family, had vanished overnight in 1892. Some claimed their spirits still lingered, hungry for new victims. The group never returned. Their footage was found a week later, covered in a substance that forensic analysts swore was human saliva. Daniel had discovered the Holloway case in a moldy archive. The records were sparse but chilling. October 13, 1892. The Holloway family, Reginald, Eliza, and 5 children, declared missing. No signs of struggle. All personal belongings left intact. The youngest child's nursery was found, altered. Walls scratched with symbols resembling pre-Christian sacrificial rites. Probably just some rich idiots playing with occult nonsense, Marcus scoffed. But Eleanor, who'd grown up near Blackwood, hesitated. My nan said the house chooses who enters. In '63, a vagrant broke in. They found him the next morning, folded inside the chimney. Claire gripped her crucifix. We're seriously doing this? Daniel adjusted his camera. We leave at the first sign of anything weird. The iron gate groaned as they pushed it open. Its rusted inscription read, "Who enters unbidden, leaves unforgiven." The interior smelled of wet soil and spoiled meat. Furniture lay untouched, as if the Holloways had vanished mid-meal, a teacup still warm to the touch, moth-eaten coats hanging by the door. Eleanor gasped. The portraits, their eyes moved. Indeed, the painted Holloway's gazes now followed the group. Marcus laughed nervously, poking Reginald Holloway's likeness. The portrait's hand shot out, gripping his wrist. The house inhaled. Walls pulsed like living tissue. The front door sealed itself with a sound like teeth clamping shut. From the upstairs nursery, a child's voice giggled. Hide and seek. Daddy says losers get punished. Marcus vanished first. They heard him screaming from the cellar, not in pain, but laughing, his voice warped as if something wore his vocal cords like a puppet. When they found him, he was chewing Eleanor's severed finger, his jaw unhinged like a snake's. Tastes like candy, he giggled. Claire fled upstairs only to find the nursery door ajar. Inside, a gray-skinned child sat on a rotting rocking horse, its neck craned 180 degrees to face her. You'll be my new sister, it whispered, black tears oozing. Meanwhile, Daniel discovered the truth in Reginald's journal. Agatha warned us. The warden demands a family, not just blood or lineage. It will keep taking until the Holloway name is eternal. A shadow loomed behind him. Not a ghost, not a demon, something older, its mouth stitched shut with human hair. It smiled as the threads snapped. 1672, the Pact. Sir Alistair Holloway, a slaver and brute, sought out the witch Agatha Volkova after his wife died in childbirth. Agatha resurrected Lady Margaret, but the thing that returned wore her skin like ill-fitting gloves. Your line must feed the warden, Agatha hissed. One soul per generation, or it takes all. Alistair's first sacrifice? His own newborn son. 1867, the tainted bloodline. By the Victorian era, the Holloways hosted hunts for beggars and travelers. Family letters boasted of their luck. The warden blessed us. The new mine shaft uncovered a vein of silver, right where we buried those Irish laborers. But in 1867, Eliza Holloway gave birth to Thomas, a child born with teeth and no eyes. The midwife's diary noted, "The babe bit clean through my finger." Mr. Holloway only laughed and said, "He takes after his grandfather." October 1892, the last Holloways. Reginald's final journal entry. The warden is no longer satisfied with outsiders. It demands Holloway blood. Last night, I found Thomas in the nursery whispering to the walls. When I grabbed him, his skin sloughed off like rotten fruit. Beneath it was Agatha's face. The final page was stained with a handprint the size of a toddler's. Daniel awoke in the cellar, chained beside Eleanor's corpse. Her ribcage pried open like a candlelit shrine. Marcus crouched in the corner, now part of the house itself, his limbs fused with the brickwork. The warden approached, its true form revealed. A towering figure of stretched skin, its face a void except for a mouth crammed with duplicate teeth, each set stolen from a victim. Fingers that ended in smaller, grasping hands. A voice that cycled through the Holloway's accents, from 17th century aristocracy to Claire's modern whimpers. It spoke. You wondered why the house felt alive? It is alive. I grew it from Alistair's bones. Then it offered Daniel a gift. Join them. Become a Holloway. Just say yes. The camera, still recording, captured Daniel's lips forming the word, before the warden peeled his tongue out through his throat. Epilogue. The 2023 investigation. YouTube paranormal investigator Jake Carter trespassed at Holloway House last winter. His final livestream showed the nursery's rocking horse moving on its own, its wood now fused with Claire's bleached femur. A message scratched into the floorboards, Daniel lives in the walls. The warden's silhouette flickering behind Jake, its stitched mouth now sewn with his own beard hair. The video ends with a whisper. The house is hungry again. Daniel's flashlight flickered as he descended into the cellar, where the air smelled of copper and spoiled communion wine. The stone walls wept a viscous fluid that left handprint-shaped burns on his skin. Beneath a pile of moth-eaten dolls, he found Reginald Holloway's last confession, penned in what forensic analysis later proved to be equal parts ink and amniotic fluid. October 13, 1892. Agatha deceived us. The warden was never our protector, we were its livestock. For 200 years, it fattened itself on our lineage. Tonight, it demands the final course, a Holloway from each generation. I hear Thomas singing nursery rhymes with his other mother in the walls. God help us all. A rusted surgical scalpel lay atop the parchment, its blade etched with the same symbols as the nursery walls. When Daniel picked it up, the house moaned like a wounded animal. The Holloway family tree expanded lore. 1672 to 1701, the first feasts. Sir Alistair's ledger documented sacrifices with puritanical fastidiousness. March 3, 1674, gave the stable boy. The warden left us Spanish gold in his empty skin. Christmas 1680, my second wife asked too many questions. Her portrait now hangs in the West Wing. Note, modern investigators found 17 additional layers of paint beneath her likeness, each revealing a progressively distorted face. 1803, the corruption of Reverend Proudfoot. The Holloway's darkest secret involved the local vicar, who discovered their rituals. Church records state he died of apoplexy, but the warden's teeth marks on the church chalice suggested otherwise. His final sermon notes included, "The Holloway children speak in tongues not of this earth. Their shadows move against the light." 1892, The Last Supper. Eliza Holloway's cookbook contained one anomalous recipe. Thomas's favorite cake, 3 eggs harvested when the moon eclipses Jupiter, flour sifted through a widow's veil, and illegible blood stain. Forensic analysis in 1992 revealed human breast milk in the ink. The warden's voice unspooled from the walls in a chorus of Holloway's past. "You've seen our memories. Now wear them." Daniel's skin bubbled with phantom faces. Sir Alistair's sneer, Thomas's toothless grin, Eleanor's dying scream. The scalpel in his hand moved on its own, carving Agatha's sigil into his sternum as the house assimilated him. His spine fused with the banister, becoming part of the staircase. His screams mutated into the creaking floorboards future visitors would hear. His left eye, now embedded in the attic door, would watch every new victim. Marcus' final words echoed through the rotting halls. "We're not food. We're furniture now." Epilogue, the 2023 Incident Report. West Mercia Police Case 2023 to 114. Location, Blackwood Forest, Herefordshire. Subject, disappearance of YouTube personality Jake Carter. Evidence recovered. A VHS tape showing Carter reading from Reginald's journal. Behind him, a child-sized figure crawls upside down across the ceiling. Enhancement revealed Claire's wedding ring on its finger. Audio analysis detected whispering in 17th century dialect. The fresh meat comes willingly now. No need to hunt. Carter's phone contained one unsent text. "The house showed me my face in 100 years. I look just like them." Final note. The investigating officer resigned after reporting nails growing from his office walls forming the words, "Your turn." The Holloway case remains officially closed. Appendix, How to Survive Holloway House. From the notes of occult investigator Dr. Elias Quimby, 1923. Signs you're already trapped. Finding teeth in your pocket with no memory of how they got there. Dreaming of a banquet where all the dishes are named after you. Your reflection blinking at odd intervals. If you hear singing. The nursery rhyme Hush Hush Holloway precedes feeding time. Victims report hearing it in 1892, Victorian English. 1987, Claire's Manchester accent. 2023, auto-tuned as if through a smartphone speaker. Last resort. Agatha's grimoire suggests burning you wood in the hearth, but warns. Fire pleases the warden. It remembers the stake. Goodbye and see you again.